Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot-wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do.
Quit telling me what to do.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. I'm Ash. He's Brent. Let's see who's on the podium this morning. Stephanie Connie, Ricky King, Marvin Mickish.
Now, does Stephanie count if she's on YouTube? Because she could log into YouTube anytime she wants.
Yeah. Well, she logged in.
She was the first one in
this morning. Yep. Those
Good morning,
on Facebook.
Steph.
I don't think you can't comment on Facebook until we actually go live.
Stephanie Connie, the first one to remind you that next Thursday, the 26th, she no doubt will be at Palace Bingo where friends meet friends. She's a regular, a mainstay, if you will. Is that fair?
Yeah.
She's a mainstay.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
A hub.
Always is.
A founding member of Wade and Carter night at Palace Bingo. And I might add also the impetus, a ne'er-do-well who caused some of the ruckus, the fracas.
I think she was the linchpin of that fracas.
Linchpin of the fracas. Yes. I'm always trying to find little acronyms like that.
Her and
a lot.
Sherry Jacobs, maybe?
Yeah, she was a lot for. Next Thursday, the 26th, first ball pops at 7:30. Be there about 7. Get you some food.
Today, Caldo Wednesday. Get into Veracruz. Enjoy a steaming fresh hot bowl of caldo.
It is wonderful.
Really
Caldo
is.
de res. It is fantastic. It's the best Mexican food in town, bar none. Veracruz restaurant. The weather in Victoria brought to you by the little gin that could. For over 50 years, AT Dirt on Feed's been there serving Victoria's ranchers.
Yep.
They can also serve you at your home. There's nothing like, you talk about things being commercial grade. There's nothing like grabbing, you can grab Roundup or you can grab Honcho. You can get some stuff that works. I'm going napalm.
You can get the off cutter for your yard, or you can go get the bifin and really take care of those mosquitoes.
Everything dies.
Yeah. Anything, they've got stuff. If you got mosquito problems after all the rain, go talk to Jackie.
They can even hook you up with a crop duster that'll just fly right over the top of your home. Just drop it off.
Little drone.
Yeah. You walk like your dog walks in and the fleas are just falling off of it. Like everything there just goes, I'm done. 80 degrees in Victoria under sunny skies, heading to a high today of 91. Little breezy this afternoon, 80 to 91, sunny skies. And it's sunny for the foreseeable future from now till at least Sunday.
Nice. From now till November.
Right. From now till
the end of time.
Movember. I see you shaved. You're clean shaven.
Wow.
Is a haircut
no
in the future?
No.
You're letting it go?
For a while. Why not?
You can pull off more hair looks, some more effectively than others. All right.
How's this one on the effective list?
Folks, please feel free to comment. Scale of 1 to 10. I'll know when I see the number. You've seen Ash at his best. He sometimes goes short.
Oh, you're saying I'm at my worst right now?
No, I'm not. Do not be insecure. You clearly you're
clearly psychologically, subliminally, my best was shorter hair.
I'm steering people that direction. Well, the thing is, here's why I think it works. Number one, I never knew that a Russian first of all, you can grow a full beard in about 4 days. I've never seen such a heaping, steaming bowl of testosterone. And then at the same time, you can pull off like one day you've got like short hair and the next day you've got like a mullet with mutton chops. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it's a really good makeup artist. I just don't know. Folks, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Good genes.
scale of 1 to 10, just in the post right there, just give me, a number. If this particular Ash Wade look, how is this look on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 is the best you've ever seen Ash, is this an 8? Is it a 4? Are we a fan of the longer hair?
Well, Linda Chris likes the longer hair. Will Vincent wants the spiky hair.
I did not ask for your editorial comments. I asked for a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Where does this look rank? I like it longer. I like it shorter. Nobody asked you that. Nobody got time for that. Follow instructions. BJ says 9+. She likes it. Will Vincent says you're a 3.
BJ.
But don't forget, Will Vincent usually thinks you're a 1, so he likes this look. Thank you, BJ.
I'm not doing a man bun, Scott.
Oh, have you ever?
No.
Did you ever pull one up?
No, I've never even put it into a ponytail.
Scott Snow comes in with a
Thank
solid
you, Scott.
7.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Scott. That's nice.
Even when I had longer hair than this, I mean, it was down to here at one point, and I never.
Oh, now Linda says I made the comment before you set up the grading scale. Yeah, Will Vince wants me to shave my hair.
No, nobody wants that.
No,
I never even pulled it into a ponytail when it was all about down to here.
I've seen photos. Look at that. And Bobby, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. He says it's a 10. Ash can pull off anything with his hair. I cannot disagree. And thank you. Thanks for participating.
Yeah, thank you.
Feel free to give him the member update. Who all's in?
Greg Garcia. Saw Greg yesterday at Para Vida. Thank you to those of us of you that watch and listen that utilize those that make this show possible. So Greg was picking up him and Wendy, fine customers of the fine purveyors of food at Para Vida Wellness.
Absolutely.
They were there yesterday picking up all their great meals.
Get in and get healthy. I've got to go by today. I'm, in fact, right after the show, I'm going by and picking up my meals.
Yep, got mine yesterday. I had the ground turkey with green beans and carrots yesterday.
My meals have morphed to where now the boys have adopted them, and so
you got to arm wrestle them.
Yeah, hey,
Indian leg wrestle them
really
for them.
Nice hamburger patties. But they're like, "Hey, Dad, can you get some more of this?" And they make a small. It's not a big protein waffle. And
it's like a silver dollar pancake of waffles.
But it's something ridiculous, like 80 grams of protein.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
pretty good.
They're like this big, but they weigh like 4 pounds.
Yeah. Bobby Leister in. He'll be at Caldo Wednesday today. There's BJ Nelson, Will Vincent, Wendy Hughes Garcia, Daniel Wade White, Monty Howard. Good morning. Scott Snow, Linda Chris, Scott Tomko, Judge Posey. There's Jackie Parsons. She says you can make payments on the drone in advance. Kendra Douglas, Tammy Keeling. Scott, we're going to get to the Stanley Cup Finals in a little bit. Lisa Poole.
Where Ash was right.
Jarrett McCrugan. Good morning, cuz.
Hey,
Jared Jacobs.
Wendy Hughes comes in with a 9.9.
Nice.
Oh.
I feel like I'm in the Olympics all of a sudden.
There you go.
Judge
Nadia.
Posey, they're 8 and 7/8.
8 and 7/8.
Judge,
the size of his hat. He's got a big head.
Hi, Marina. Said
Hi,
Stewart
Marina.
checking in. Shalom to Nick Rule. Good morning.
Hey,
where do we want to start?
You said you saw Nick. I feel like I know Nick without even knowing Nick.
Nick's a good dude.
That's what you say.
Yeah. Commissioner of the Heart of America Conference, good friend of mine.
I believe you. The Heart of America.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more? Hey, how can you be anything but a fan of the Heart of America?
Oh, you can not be a fan of the Heart, but
yeah, the Heart
in the heart of America. I know. It's hard not to be.
Speaking of the Heart of America, this is just a quick deal here.
Please.
What do you make of this guy?
Which guy?
I know nothing about this individual. Apparently his name is Lander. His last name is Lander.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's running, folks. I think this guy's running for mayor of New York.
He is. He's the current New York City comptroller.
Now, look at this. This image is not good. And I don't understand it. I don't understand the imagery being allowed to be projected apparently by the Trump administration. Federal agents, ICE agents, all plainclothes dressed, are arresting the New York City comptroller. And, you know, he was somewhat, I've seen the video. I don't know if he's resisting arrest, but he's certainly not being compliant. And they end up taking a guy and shoving him up against a wall. And it seems a little brutal. It seems to kind of be saying no man is above the law. And then I went on to read, right, that the reason they're upset with this guy is that he's been escorting folks into courtrooms. Is that correct?
Yeah. From what the New York Times is where I'm reading this and read a little bit about this yesterday, but apparently he was there. Mr. Lander was observing proceedings. And of course they have to mention he's a Democrat.
Yeah. Which has nothing to do with
this at all. But he was at the city's main immigration courthouse, where an increasing number of migrants who appear for court have been arrested in recent weeks by ICE agents, according to the New York Times. What better place to arrest them when they actually show up for an immigration hearing?
Right.
You know, I mean, remember when we used to laugh when New York City would send all their criminals on their warrant list tickets to the Yankees game?
They would all
show up and they'd, we got a special section for you. Just wait here. And they'd all take him into a room under Yankee Stadium and then mass arrest them all.
Because criminals in general are not that bright.
No. So,
but is this guy arrest worthy?
How they detained him. They haven't charged him with anything. But I mean, if you really think about what he was doing, he was trying to get somebody around the law to get him into the court.
Does he get elected mayor of New York because of this gallant statement on behalf of the left?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, New York typically leans left and votes Democrat. Current mayor Eric Adams has decided to run as an independent, so he's not in the Democrat primary.
Former police officer, if I remember.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how New Yorkers feel about Eric Adams.
Oh, he's not in the primary. He doesn't have to. He's not getting primary.
I don't think so.
He found a way to skirt the whole deal.
Well, he bailed on the Democrat Party because they just don't stand for what he stands for anymore.
Do they not, or did he just not want to be in this and then a runoff and then all that?
Maybe, I don't know. I believe they have the whole primary process in New York, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Somebody fact check me on that, but yeah.
Child savant.
Exactly. Running the Russian tea room as a front for the KGB. Absolutely. So anyway, I mean, to me, he's aiding and abetting a criminal. If they know he's going to arrest him and he's trying to get him around the arrest.
You have a feeling he was probably warned, like, hey, I think you probably should stop doing that.
Probably.
So here's some numbers for you.
But he's not
folks.
The only one. Didn't this happen to that Padilla idiot who
now Padilla
has just been on his constant terminal victim.
If you listen to the left's version of that incident, you will hear that Padilla he's a senator. He's charged with, it's his duty to provide oversight to what's going on, and that he simply had a question for Director of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and that he was brutally abused, mistreated. And he literally got in front of the Senate yesterday and cried. He cried.
Second time in like a week.
He's such a pud. The fact of the matter is, Mr. Padilla, Senator Padilla, appointed Senator Padilla, was in the same building as DHS cabinet member Kristi Noem for another press conference, another meeting, another hearing in another room. And he was early, good for him, and found out that Kristi Noem was right down the hall.
Oh, he just happened to find out.
Well, in theory, he was told that, oh, by the way, Kristi Noem is holding a press conference. And he said, well, let's go see I've got a couple of questions for her. So Mr. Padilla went down. And it's always so convenient that if you were just walking into a room at your work and you were going to ask a question to your boss or a peer, what are the odds somebody's following you with their phone on their camera? He's just going to go ask a question. So, Mr. Padilla,
someone just happened to be one of Padilla's staffers.
Yeah, and they're videoing him as he walked in, and there are Secret Service agents. She's a cabinet member. They're lined up against the walls. And he literally just brushes by this guy like, I'm coming in. And the guy goes, oh, whoa, hold on there, Hoss.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm Alex Padilla. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. And the guy didn't say, who cares who you are? He didn't. He said, I'm sorry, sir. There's a press conference going on here. You can't just come in. I'm on the oversight. Let me go. I'm on the oversight committee. He's a blowhard pendejo for our friends at Magic 95.9. So they said, no, sir, you're clearly unhinged and out of control. And they restrained him and forcibly. And then by now he's, I've got to get in there. I've got a question. In typical leftist look at me fashion. So they did what they should do. They removed him from the room, and they did neither detain him nor arrest him. They cuffed him for his own protection because he was flailing around, and one of those Secret Service agents was about to whip his fanny. So they said, stop. And ever since then, including about 5 minutes later, I just want to say, if they could do that to me, Senator Alex Padilla, imagine what they're doing to the migrant farmers. Yeah. It's anarchy.
The virtue signaling is just,
don't be a fool.
No. Speaking of which, the ladies on The View made themselves a fool.
Oh, you going to play that?
Yeah, let's play it.
See if you can figure out who this is.
Joy Behar.
Oh,
starts the questioning off, and listen to them get terminated.
If you are an immigrant, you're an immigrant in this country.
Yeah.
Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, I mean, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was impressed by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21 with absolutely nothing. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America,
they're clutching their pearls at this point.
They are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can, keep things clean, and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America.
No, look, so funny.
They crapped their pants when this went in a direction they didn't think it was going to go. And I don't know if they gave Arnie some sort of BS to talk about, you know, the crackdown in LA.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I love the best comment. Everybody said Conan, the Terminator, but Wendy Hughes Garcia says, get to the chopper.
Now.
Do it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Greg Garcia says Arnold has an appreciation for this country because it gave him his opportunity. They totally misread the situation. It was delightful how it backfired on him.
Yeah.
And I agree. And you know, he said, don't, you know, he's not for illegal immigration. And then he went on. I mean, this is the clip here, but he went on to talk about finding a solution for the immigration problems.
Yeah.
We've talked about at length, but it was just nice to see. Yeah.
Tammy brings up a decent point. Says whiplash move on the raiding of farms, construction sites, restaurants, and hotels are all back on the menu. There was a moment last week where the president had been implored by some business people. It started with the meat packers saying, hey, look, man, try not to, you're killing us. You know, I mean, yes, we have some illegals working here. You're killing us. Don't keep deporting these workers. Nobody wants to do these jobs. And Tammy calls it a whiplash moment, but the reality is the president decided, you know what? That's hypocritical. That's not what I ran on. That's not who I told the American people I was going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to deporting those people. And the meatpacking plant lost 78 people, and the next day had about twice that many applicants from Americans looking for those jobs.
And the meat packer in Omaha was, well, we did the E-Verify. You can't blame us.
Yeah, of course they did. You know, the employers lie. They weren't.
Yeah.
They were paying people cash.
Yeah. So but see, that's not going to get reported.
No.
I think that was on Breitbart News where they were talking about how the jobs are being applied for by Americans, because it debunks the false narrative that, well, these are jobs that Americans don't want to do. Bull crap.
Yep, they employed them right away. There's our state rep, House District 30, AJ Louderback. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Roy Gutierrez checking in. Let's see what else.
What do you make of? I mean, we got other news to talk about.
Yeah, but there was something else with this that. Well, you were telling me some of the numbers, yeah. Because numbers, before we finish this off, because this
Sheriff Louderback there,
yeah.
This is, and he may not. I'm sure he's privy to these numbers, but he may not have seen them yet.
And don't forget, when we had actual Border Patrol spokespeople on the show a few years ago, they were telling us then only about 15% of the asylum seekers coming across the border had legit cases to actually be heard. The rest were all bogus. Some of them had been coming across multiple times.
Yeah. How about these stats? Yesterday, on the entire southern border of the United States, now I'm just talking about Mexico, the entire southern border of the United States, there were 95 encounters between Border Patrol agents and folks trying to cross the border.
Between what period?
All day yesterday, 95 encounters.
Okay.
A typical day of encounters, engaging one-on-one with an illegal under the Biden administration was 10,000. 10,000 a day. Those are the ones they talk to.
Those aren't the getaways.
Those aren't the getaways. So yesterday there were 95. A typical day under Biden was 10,000.
How many of those did they release into
How
the country?
about this? Of the 95 that were in, no, the entire month of May, statistics from Border Patrol for the month of May, zero illegal immigrants processed and released into the United States population. In May of 24, amid claims of getting the border under control, brag point for the Biden administration, 62,000 illegals from all different countries, 160 plus countries, were released into the United States. 62,000 in May of 24, zero. Zip nada net into the country in May of 25. And the Breitbart spokesman, which is the person that gave me the official numbers, I heard him on another source as well. The Breitbart spokesperson said, I don't really know how to process this. A politician ran on a platform, did what he said he was going to do, and delivered the result that everybody said there's no way. He's being too optimistic. Worth noting, only 95 people even tried to cross the border.
Yeah.
Think about that. All we needed, no new laws, just
enforce the ones we have.
A new president.
Buddy Stavino, Andrew Alvarez.
Yeah.
Well, we won't hold the statute of limitations on it. I think it's expired, Andrew. So no worries there.
Yeah.
Let's see who else in. Kathleen Leininger, good morning. Wendy Hughes Garcia says, nobody wants to do those jobs. Don't deport them. That's some slave owner
That is
mentality right there.
slave mentality right there. You're 100% right.
Roy
Wendy.
Gutierrez, good morning. Let's get to let James
Let me
Kurth, good
just
morning.
Read that.
Which one?
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
you just
look
want to
at-
read it. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
so
Let's take a break and then we'll move on because we got more important things to talk about. Like the
Lots of
Stanley
things to
Cup
talk
playoffs.
no doubt about it.
Playoffs.
USA Concrete Coatings. Charlie Garcia wants to help you. Your driveway's all cracked, falling apart. He can level it up, seal the cracks. He can even put tough as nails polyurethane coat on it that won't crack, stick, peel, or fade,
It won't.
and basically give you a new driveway for
Now-
a fraction of the cost of getting all new.
Now that the Astros are running away with the AL West, you might want to put that logo
Put
back
that
down on
logo
the floor.
back. Went services for all your generator needs. I drove by yesterday. I had to go to San Antonio and drove by, and it is a massive flag and a beautiful flag. If you have a chance to drive by and see the American flag hanging outside of Went Services, they're on 87 North or West. It is big, 30-foot
Nice.
flag. It's a beautiful flag. Go by and check it out. Went for all your electrical needs. That's not secondary. That's what they do. Adson-Offer and AdsonOffer.com. Adson-Offer your home for a new Chevy. Reach out to Adson-Offer and see the USA in a Chevrolet.
Might as well.
Flags are flying. Folks are buying. Get by
Selling
and
cars
see.
like candy bars.
Just down the road from higher prices on the Navarro Motor Mile. Brand us. Commander Cody can help you with your Facebook presence, website presence, whatever you need. The Commander is there for you. What do you got at the chopping block? It's Wacky Wing Wednesday.
It is. And don't forget, just around the corner, July 4th, maybe the busiest grilling weekend ever. And this year, July 4th is on a Friday. So it will be a long weekend. And they've got you covered. They've got smoked meat packs. So all
Is
ready
Joe
to go,
Biden gonna
basically.
let us get together this
Well,
July 4th?
yeah. Burgers and dogs, if you want to do something for a lot of people. They've got fajita packs as well. And any specific meats you'd like, just ask them. So stop on by 4th of July, taken care of at the chopping block already. And don't forget, today is Wacky Wing Wednesday. Go by, grab yourself some wings.
$4.99 a pound.
$4.99
and
a
they've got 'em
pound.
pre-marinated. They're great in the
Yeah.
air fryer.
Look
at that.
Yeah, pork burnt ends, $6.99 a pound if you want to do that. Their jalapeno fajita poppers, they're good. They've got some that have boudin in them, and those are really good. So
Awesomeness.
get on
Yeah,
by
no,
the
it's
chopping block
great.
today.
Creative meat. They have some great things. And if you're so inclined, they've got, Packer trim briskets. They've got all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff for you.
Yeah.
So
And if you're a competition,
chickens,
griller,
they've
they've
got
got you
competition
covered.
chickens.
yeah, and they've taken over some of the products that Dick's used to have.
Yeah, it
So
was a
that-
brand of
Yeah,
chicken
some chicken,
that
and,
people really
Yep.
enjoyed.
and I think hams as well. There's the recently retired Dottie Bitterly.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Dottie, congratulations.
Great educator. I learned a lot from her. So,
She teach Russian.
no, she taught nutrition and helped a lot of folks with nutrition issues and health issues, eat better, learn better, diabetics.
I've seen you eat.
Oh, she didn't have to teach me how to eat. She
You've
had to
got
teach me how to eat better.
Man's got a tapeworm. I don't know how he does it.
Ugh.
You've stayed thin.
I'm working hard to try to not put the weight on. I put a few pounds on in Canada this week when I was there, and
I lived on a roller coaster.
might have been because the exchange rate. I don't know.
I lived on a roller coaster for a long time where, I would say like 250 was my baseline, but I'd get up to 265. Then I'd go down to like 245 and 265. But, now, this morning I weighed 237.
Nice.
And, I touched 235 and, but I'm
Water weight. Go take a leak and you'll probably
Yeah.
drop the 2 pounds.
I'm going to try to go on down. I'm going to try to get down to about 225. That's fighting weight. And my knees don't hurt anymore. Folks, if you are concerned about your
they
health,
say like for
it's-
every few pounds, it's like
Oh.
25 pounds of pressure off your knees.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a multiplier because it's
Yeah.
just a pounding effect as you walk. As we get older, it's much easier to wear your knees out. Do you see how that Caitlin Clark? I mean, I don't care beans about the WNBA, but
Look
I
at
want
that.
you to look at They hit her in the face.
No, they went.
And
She
then
went
they
straight.
pushed her.
She went straight
And
for
then
the
this girl
eye.
body chucked her.
Yeah. I mean,
This-
that's not basketball. That's hatred for Caitlin Clark because she's good and
Yeah.
she's better than you. I mean, you weren't going to play the ball. The Sheldon girl just went straight for her eye and
Oh,
tried
yeah,
to poke it out.
I mean, she's literally playing with the ball and the girl just whap,
Yeah.
sticks her in the eye. And she turns around and goes, hey. And this other girl just comes up and body slams her. It kind of looks like a hockey game.
It kind of turned into a little fracas.
I don't understand. She's the meal ticket to their money losing league. It would be as if everybody, and I realize the Detroit Pistons did do this for a while, but it would be as if everybody tried to hurt Michael Jordan.
Yeah. It'd be like throwing at Shohei Ohtani's head every time he came
Right.
to the plate.
Why would you do that? That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, dumb.
No, it is dumb. But we're talking about the WNBA, something we rarely do.
Money losing proposition.
Let's see what else is happening. Oh yeah. Florida Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup last night on
You
home
called
ice.
that.
I did call that.
In 6, you
In
called
6,
that.
I called that.
Edmonton quit. They lost 5-1.
Yeah, they got behind early. Sam Reinhart had a hat trick and another one, so he had 4 goals of the 5. Sergei Bobrovsky, they call him Bob Roski. There's a little meme going around.
Nice.
Just a happy little save here. He almost had the shutout. Played really well. I mean, I'm not going to say it. Edmonton outshot the Panthers yesterday, and Bobrovsky made some great saves when it was still 2-0. That bewildered Connor McDavid, the greatest player on ice right now, and kept,
Sam Reinhart, the lone American in the game.
which he's not.
Probably not.
Matthew Tkachuk was an American or is an American, but just a really, really, really good series.
Really good. Really good
Let,
shoot.
let me find this. I got to find this.
Matthew Tkachuk. Where do these people come from?
Tkachuk, his dad, Keith, played in the NHL. I think Matthew was born in St. Louis. 3 of the games went to overtime. In those 3 games, Edmonton actually outscored the Panthers 13-12 in the non-overtime games. The Panthers outscored Edmonton 16-4. I think I said early on before the series began that goaltending was going to be the difference in this one, and the Oilers' lack thereof showed why they weren't going to win, and they will not win a Stanley Cup until they have better goaltending. Jonathan Williams says hockey is the new state sport of Florida. I think Florida has 4 of the last 6 Stanley Cup champions reside in the state of Florida. But a lot of fun, good series. And yeah, I'll gloat. I called it.
I'm going to need you to bring up the Astros ball game. I'm going to read you guys some quick stats. I did not watch the game last night. The Astros rallied after losing 3-1 and beat the Oakland Athletics. Well, no, the Las Vegas.
Sacramento
they beat
A's.
the A's. They beat the A's.
Yeah.
They beat the A's 13-3. But listen to these numbers, and before you even get there, Isaac Paredes goes 2 for 4 with a run, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. Yainer Diaz must have hit a home run. He was 1 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Christian Walker goes 2 for 5 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs and a walk. Cam Smith.
Yeah, how about Cam Smith?
Cam Smith goes 4 for 5 with 3 runs and 3 RBIs. I mean, have yourself a day.
And he hit 2 home runs.
The Astros routed the Athletics 13-3. That is amazing.
Was that a slap in the face?
Jason Alexander
Claimed off waivers from the A's last month.
6 shutout innings before tiring in the 7th. He hadn't pitched that much for the A's in 2 years. So Christian Walker did his 10th home run. It's hard to read that when the teleprompter's moving.
I was trying to get to the box score just to see exactly where Mr. Alexander, he's still got a pretty good ERA, even though he goes 6 innings. But I gave up 3 runs, but
Yeah.
I'd love to work a teleprompter.
Well, you did, because that one's going by. I'd be like a speed reader hooked on phonics just to read that.
Yeah.
Smith connected for leadoff shots in the second and fourth. He drove in 3 runs and scored 3 times. He's a 22-year-old rookie. He has 5 major league homers and 2 multi-homer games.
Thank you,
Hello.
ESPN.
Yes, thanks to ESPN.
Yep.
Dubon followed Smith's homer with his second of the season for a 5-0 lead against. If Mauricio Dubon hits a home run, you're having a long day on the bump.
Absolutely.
A 2-run single to Jake Myers. I mean, when the Astros bats are hot, they're fun, and they're fun to watch, folks. If you're not an Astros fan, if you are remotely a baseball fan, you should watch. Astros now 11 games above 500. The A's are 15 games below 500.
Yeah.
They're not a good team.
No, they're
and
not.
as you pointed out yesterday, these are games you ought to win.
You have to
You
win
ought
these.
to win these games. These are the games in the beginning of summer when it's hot that if you're expected to win, the Athletics are what? They're last in their division.
Yep.
Yeah, they're last. Astros are now up by 4.5 on the Mariners, who also won yesterday. The Rangers finally dropped a game to now be 6 games back.
The Astros have as many wins as the Yankees, and ESPN probably won't be talking about the Astros anytime soon.
And the Astros folks are playing. By the way, I saw a stat the other day that of teams that are over 500, the Astros have played the fewest number of teams that are under 500. It's not like they're out beating up on the A's all the time.
No, exactly.
They're beating up on the league all the time. Joe Espada doing a great job as manager with limited arms.
I think he's underappreciated.
I think he's doing.
They keep pulling
great
arms
job
out of the farm.
And tip of the cap to Dana Brown, the GM. I was concerned. We knew what we had with Jeff Lettow, but to have Dana Brown doing what he's doing, you can't argue with the results if you follow baseball at all. I think
the other thing that's interesting is it shows you that these rankings of the best prospects in baseball or systems of prospects don't mean squat, because the Astros are routinely in the bottom third of the league, yet they seem to be plugging guys in that are stepping in.
They find a way to
Melton, the arms that they've been using. Colorado, they've won 3 in a row after being on pace for 132 losses. They're still on pace for 128 losses, but hey.
In the National League, the
terrible.
Mets, Cubs, and Dodgers all lead the East, Central, and West with 45 wins each. So the Astros keeping pace with the best of the best.
Absolutely.
And that's all. There's Jim Simpson. Jim Simpson had a birthday last week.
Yeah, I talked hockey with Jimmy yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great series. I will agree. It was fun to watch. It was good hockey, hard hitting. Edmonton came off flying last night. They were hitting Florida pretty hard early on. Sam Reinhart scored the first one from his knees, and then it was on.
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah.
Will Vincent says, I'm a crazy Astros fan, but he's
just crazy.
also a crazy Ducks fan. So we have that going for him.
Exactly. Got to
Right,
temper it.
what do you want, buddy?
I don't know what he wants.
He just wanting some love.
Does anybody really care? I mean, can anybody tell me who the PGA Tour
does anybody
CEO
know
is
right now off the top of your head? Does anybody just go, oh, well, that's old Steve Johnson? Does anybody know who that is? Nobody really keeps up with that. And the commissioner, what does he do? Because in reality, you have a bunch of independent contractors, right?
Yeah.
You make the rules. You've got to play in 15 events. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. But you don't really manage. It's not like they don't have collective bargaining. PGA Tour players don't go on strike.
No.
They just don't show up at a tournament.
But I think what's happened here is they're frustrated with the lack of movement in the proposed merger with the Live Tour. Remember how that was supposed to happen a couple of years ago?
I still can't get my head around. I get it that of the major tournament winners, a lot of these guys are off of the Live Tour. But here's the deal.
Just DeChambeau, right?
They make a ton of money in Rahm. But here's the deal. They make a ton of money they only play 3 rounds of golf per tournament. And the problem with that, Ash, is, over time, that 4th round, while you're traveling on to the next Live, fun event, I'm grinding it out, at Oakmont or, at somewhere on the tour. It's an unfair deal. It's kind of like if I had a baseball league and they only played 6 innings every night. right?
Yeah.
And over time, over 162 games, the guys that are playing 9 innings are going to be more tired, more hurt, more beat up. Very interesting.
Kathleen Liner says PGA. It used to be Tiger when I watched it so long ago. That's the problem right now with the PGA is they're waiting on their next Tiger.
There's not going to be another
I don't
Tiger.
know where that kid is, but he's not on the tour right now.
No, he's not on the
Scotty
tour.
Scheffler might be as close, but he's not as engaging.
Exciting. He's not exciting.
He's playing good golf.
Great player.
Yeah. But he doesn't have the charisma that
just
Tiger
carrying
had.
The podium with you.
I noticed that.
He's just standing here.
No,
He's being good.
He is being good. I got no.
Let's
I got
take
no
a break.
problems.
You
Let's
give me
take a
some
break.
love.
Yeah, I'll give
How
you
about I
some
tell you about White Trash Services, White Trash Site Services? I don't know if you folks knew this, but Site Services, I mean, they're not just little barns and stuff. They did the demo work at Victoria College. They did the demo work at Citizens Hospital.
Yeah.
They tear it down. They haul it off. That's what they do. Call White Trash Site Services for your commercial opportunities. They do a tremendous job. Then you can come back in from the dollar floor store and you can put down vinyl flooring, plank flooring, waterproof flooring, tile, hardwoods, carpet, whatever you need. Sawdust. Call them. Dollar Floor Store. They'd love to help you with your next project. We talked about Allen's Record Service a lot.
We do.
578-6300.
They're simply the best.
If you need them, call them. They do a great job, and they are super friendly and affordable. It's not as expensive as you would think. You get in a bind, call Allen's.
Speaking of not as expensive as you think, if you need new flooring, you're looking at freshening up the house, the pool house, because Yacht Rock Radio. Check out the Dollar Floor Store. They are the Floor Trader. Go see Tamara over there on Navarro. They
super nice lady.
Super
Very
nice
helpful.
lady. She'll help you with colors. You bring in like a swatch off your wall. This is what we're thinking of painting the room, what flooring matches. She'll help you with that. She's got a great eye for that stuff. And you will not find better prices on flooring anywhere.
That's right. And that's their promise.
And this is quality stuff from like Shaw and all the big manufacturers. This isn't some knockoff that, that some container fell off a ship from China.
No.
And they just found it on the beach in the Gulf, and they buy the best stuff, get great deals on it, and then pass those savings on to you because they don't have a lot of overhead. And you know what else? This is a Texas-owned, Texas-based company. So
Absolutely.
Go support the Dollar Floor Store.
After you get the best floor down, get the best furniture down. You can find best furniture at Chestic Furniture Company. Chestic and Love make your house a home. Get in today. See why you just always do better at Chestic. The Astros update brought to you by the fine folks and friends at the First State Bank of Louise. They are located in Victoria at the corner of Stockbauer and Salem, but they are the friendliest bank anywhere. Easy to get in, easy to get out. They're big enough to get it done and small enough to know you by name.
Yep.
So give them a call, free checking, free savings, and they do a wonderful job. Have you noticed there on Riker the Wonder Dog how soft he is?
Yes, I've noticed
Bathed
that.
him yesterday.
Yeah, I noticed he's very soft and fluffy. I got to give a shout out to Heidi Easley, our county clerk.
Hey, congratulations to Heidi.
She's been named the County Clerk of the Year in the state of Texas by the County and District Clerks Association. I mean, that's good recognition. And if you've had any dealings with her,
she's super nice and super helpful.
Yeah, really is.
She's a very, very nice lady and uber qualified to do her job. So hats off to Heidi Easley for getting the recognition for something she's been doing for a long time.
Yeah. And just a reminder, tomorrow is Juneteenth. A lot of offices, federal and state, will be closed in
Makes perfect
recognition
sense.
of it. There's folks that question it. But I do want to say this. If you happen to catch your news from another source, they were mistakenly identifying today as Juneteenth. I'm not gonna name the source.
Crossroads today.
Okay, you did. I wasn't gonna go there, but
clown show.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not check a calendar before you type out the story, or all you did was recycle last year's Juneteenth story when
That's what it was.
Juneteenth was on Wednesday, and they didn't. Yeah. Anyway, it's tomorrow, not today. It's tomorrow away for the Canadians
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow away for the Canadians that are listening.
Tomorrow.
He's
very clear.
Yeah, something's going on with him.
Bothering you?
No, not at all.
I can kick him.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no.
My dogs. I can kick.
Do not kick. I
You
won't.
know I would never.
I know you would
Never.
never.
Love it.
So let's get to Iran.
Iran and Israel still fighting about day 4
It's
or
a
5 now,
conflict.
5 or 6.
Iran keeps threatening that they're gonna escalate and retaliate, and their strikes are becoming
Weaker
Weaker
already
because
seeing
they've
they don't
got
have
nothing.
any money.
Nope.
They've got nothing. Now, in 3 or 4 months, will they? They very well could.
well because China will come to the rescue, and
Yeah.
Russia can't afford to give them anything.
No,
But-
Russia can't.
No, but President Trump apparently there's some rumblings that he might. I don't do it, Donald. You ran on not getting into wars. Do not send troops
No,
to the region.
but I am encouraged by 2 things. Number 1, he appears to be listening to his military leaders, and number 2, they're not all beta males. The thing that I'm liking about
Or
Trump,
betas who think they're males.
right? Yes, Trump did send some air resources, some tanker aircraft that allow our fighter jets to refuel in flight. He has sent some to the region. And the idea being, you'll have to remember, you have to put all this in context. Over 60 days ago, the president said, I want us to work together with the UN or whoever you want us to use, NATO, whoever, and I want to go in and have joint inspections of your uranium enrichment facilities. You claim to me that you want to do this in the name of cheap energy.
And I've told you the solution to that. We'll let you have the nuclear energy. You're going to buy your enriched uranium from us
There you go.
rather than enriching it yourself.
Amen.
And Iran will not agree to that.
And it doesn't have to be enriched to weapons grade to generate nuclear power.
No, I think like 60% weapons grade, I believe, is like 90%. And
Right.
I don't know what really that means. That's just what I've heard is the
They've-
numbers of how far it has to be.
So they said no. And they recently, the president said after Israel attacked them on day 61, after his ultimatum to them ran out in a lightly veiled proxy war, he decides, tell you what, they might have one more chance. And he offered them the chance to do the same thing again. Hey, we want to come in, we want to inspect what's left of your nuclear enrichment facilities. And Iran said, nuts, you can't do it. So at the end of the day, Israel is doing what Israel does. They're probably using bombs we've provided them. And they're just bombing the heck out of Iran, which, by the way, suits their purpose because Iran has been yelling death to the Jews all my life.
Yeah.
And they mean it. And Iran has noticed that they're weak. And now is the time to eliminate the force from Iran. That's what you do. So now Trump is saying, I want an unconditional surrender. I did want
From Iran.
I did want to inspect. I did want to work with you. But now I want you just to quit. It's over. He also called Iran's supreme leader, the next in line of Ayatollah Khamenei's, an easy target. He's letting him know. You saw what happened to
Soleimani.
Yeah, it could happen to you too there.
Yeah.
And it could. And the point is, see, here's what you got to think about. At the end of the moment, what's Iran going to do? They don't have a nuke. Can you imagine if they had a nuke and they were in a desperate situation? This is why the Middle East cannot allow them to have nuclear weapons.
Now, CNN, Trump may have some difficulty selling a war with Iran to the American people, however. A poll conducted last year showed many Americans felt that the major military threat was China and Russia compared to Iran.
Russia's not a military threat.
No.
I don't think. China,
But it's a poll conducted last year. That's 6-7 months ago. They you know, the pollsters take Christmas off, so they weren't conducting this poll in
like
December.
around
And it was
Thanksgiving
probably
last year.
October around election time when they were trying to fearmonger why you shouldn't vote for Trump. He's going to get us in a war.
See, and at the same time, you've got China doing agri-terrorism. They're, bringing viruses and funguses in to attack our crops.
We're the latest China virus talk go, right? That was all the rage, and that was going to be the next thing that's going to get us down. And
Yeah. Torrin Bales points out Iran can't be trusted.
no, not
Period.
at all. No.
And he's right.
Torrin says, I heard Biden say Iran cannot have nukes several times, did nothing. I applaud Trump for giving Israel the green light to eliminate the threat of nukes.
Amen. 100%.
Yep.
And in a world where the United States all too often exerts our unwanted influence, hats off to Benjamin Netanyahu for having a warrior's mentality and saying, I'll take care of Hamas myself. I'll take care of Iran myself. Hats off to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Just, I'll be honest, though, I am concerned and worried. If anybody who's studied military history knows fighting multiple wars on multiple fronts typically doesn't work out well.
Right. But in a region where you can cover the whole region with one jet, you can just go over there and clean it up. Oh, by the way, but on accident today, we dropped a few bombs on the Gaza Strip.
Linda Christ asked, would getting rid of him change things in Iran? I don't think so, because there's the next one up. It's like a Pez dispenser. You pull one out, the next Ayatollah steps up. They all look the same. They all act the same. They all chant death to Iran, death to America, death to the infidels. I don't know what you do. The people there want change. They don't like these guys.
No, that's the difference between Hamas and the people that were under the Hamas. That was their chosen way of doing it. The people in Iran are under a regime of dictatorial proportions.
She asked, would it go back to what it was? I mean, here's the thing. When the Shah was running it, it was good for those who were in the Shah's pocket. The Shah was ruthless.
Namely, the U.S.
Namely.
He was a bad guy, but he was our bad guy. Much as Fidel Castro was early on. He was,
and
the same guy. He just was a friend of the U.S. at the time.
And would it become Persia again? I don't think we'll go back that far, because the region's become so fractured with all the different sects of Islam there, and the Sunnis, Shiites, and you name it all. But and Iran and Iraq not liking each other. So probably not. But you have to remember, we also got rid of a democratically elected leader in Iran back in, I think, the 30s or 40s, maybe the 40s, to instill the Shah, because we wanted access and to control the oil.
Oh, it's always been about money, and it's still about money today.
And I'm not saying that's, that it justifies why they hate us, but it brings some context to it.
How about this? From the Wade and Carter doesn't blindly follow the president file, I did not agree with the president saying yesterday, they've got tremendous amounts of oil, lots of gas. Why do they need nuclear power? They've got lots of oil. Oil is cheap. It's easy. And it's good oil. It's great oil. Easy. Not a lot of money to refine it. Then you could say the same thing about the United States, and we definitely need nuclear power in the United States. And I don't know what the holdup is. It's the greenest power on the planet. I don't understand, maybe, except for solar, but the greenest viable power on the planet. I don't understand the hesitation. We have a nuclear plant right down there in Bay City. Nobody's upset about it.
No. Huge move and announcement by Kraft Heinz. Large, I think they're the largest food manufacturer.
They gotta be.
Right?
We merge them together.
Yeah. They will remove all synthetic food dyes from their products by the end of 2027.
Why not? Like now?
Well, they probably could.
How about now?
They don't want to do it right now. Of course, this is Kraft mac and cheese, Kraft dinner for
Won't
you
be
folks
yellow
in Canada.
Anymore?
It might be. I don't know. Heinz ketchup may not be as red. Jello.
All Jello's, it's all clear, but it's just got it's mystery Jello.
Yeah.
By then, I'll be 2027. I could be in the home. I mean, my Jello. Would you come by and see me? And can we do a remote? I'd put my teeth in.
And they will not release any new U.S. foods with artificial dyes either. They've already been doing this around the country
and all over Europe.
Yeah. They said they've actually removed any artificial colors from Kraft mac and cheese back in 2016. So this isn't a novel idea. I think the fact that love him or hate him, Robert Kennedy, the reason RFK Jr. or the reason this is happening is because RFK Jr. is now the head of Department of Health and Human Services. And he has been this is one of his, long before he was appointed, this is one of the platforms he stood on was the harm that these fake dyes were doing, because they're all derived from petroleum products.
Well, maybe one of these days you'll open a box of cereal and there'll be like a vaccine patch in there, like Cracker Jack, and you can just put it on like a vaccine tattoo.
Does this mean my Fruit Loops will all look the same? They'll look like Cheerios?
Yeah, but can you imagine the flavor? Riker, where are you going? Come back. Come on. Come here.
Kathleen Leininger says the China virus talk needs to broaden to the agri-terrorist virus being produced and studied at U.S. colleges. We said this before. We've got to get China out of our higher education systems. I mean, it's just consistently he's going to step on something.
Oh yeah.
Not bad idea, Jeans.
Yeah, look, there he goes. Look, there he goes. He's good. He's being good.
Oh, he's being good, but you scared the crap out of him, and he was flailing like a fish.
Right? But he loves you. Look at that. Riker, the Wonder Dog.
He's a good dog.
He is a big fan of Ash, and Ash will come in the mornings. Typically, I get here earlier. I don't know why, but I get here earlier, and he will go and stand at the door and wait for Ash, and that's a true story. Did you like that save I made?
That was nice. Yeah, it was close. Oh, maybe you should have played goal for the Edmonton Oilers. They might have had a chance. Well, you made that save.
Yeah, I have to admit, folks, he called it straight up. I said Edmonton at 4, of course, because that's what I thought.
Yeah, you and Marina, but again.
But Ash was correct.
She doesn't know anything about hockey.
Ash was
correct. She's a woman.
Wow.
Kidding.
Ash called it. Panthers and do the Panthers have what it takes to be a 3-peat?
Yeah, I do. I really think so.
Are you calling that now? You saying you calling
they got to be? They got to be the way too early odds-on favorite to 3-peat.
Are they going to lose a lot of players to free agency?
Yeah, Sam Bennett, who won the Conn Smythe as the trophy, is the playoff MVP.
Sam Bennett, American?
No, Canadian. 15 goals in the playoffs. It's the third most, I think, in recent, I think ever in the playoffs. But he's a free agent, and the thing is, some team will overpay him because he's been a proven playoff performer the last 2 years, and even back when he played with Calgary but he doesn't bring you anything more during the regular season. He thrives in the playoffs, and somebody's going to overpay him.
So he's the opposite of Kyle Tucker.
Yes. Yeah. He's the
thrives
anti-Tucker.
in the season and disappears in the playoffs. Tucker's still hurt.
I don't know. I don't follow the Cubs.
So
I got a response.
Marina, you called her out.
I did.
Worldwide radio.
Wow.
She was wondering.
We were big in Vancouver.
Yeah. She's like, you just hear the static in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Tune in for me, Marina. I'll treat you politely. Wow. Great hair, though.
Thank you. 9.9, according to Scott Snow. That's got to leave. That's got to leave a mark. But somebody will overpay for Bennett. And yeah, anyway, that's where I'm leaving that. But good for him. I have no qualms with the money these guys make, because
what do they make? Is it, and with no humor?
They're
on strike a lot, and then they go broke. They
haven't been, and then the next collective bargaining agreement, I think, is 2 years away, and it looks like the NHL will get through it okay. The players are happy, the owners are happy. What was I going to say with Bennett? He'll get 8 years, 8-year contracts, I think the max, and he'll probably get upwards of 10 mil a year, which is probably
that's a lot for hockey.
It is.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money, period.
You know what? Johnny Hutton says Florida has an advantage with no state income tax. He'll earn more there with a lower wage in other markets. It's not as advantageous as you think, but here's the thing. 20 years ago, Florida still had all the tax advantages, and nobody wanted to go play there because Tampa Bay sucked and Florida sucked. Now that Tampa Bay and Florida are actually better, that's why they want to go there. They don't want to go there because of the taxes. They want to go there because it gives them a chance to win.
Speaking of, you just spurred me to think about the fact we need to do a too early Cowboys update tomorrow.
Okay.
The Cowboys have made some strategic moves. They recently signed Micah Parsons to a long-term deal for $169 million. They got the best receiver that Pittsburgh had to offer. So we will see. We will see if the Cowboys can.
We got Antonio Brown back?
No.
Yeah, Tucker's still injured. According to Will
Ocho
Vincent.
We got
Thank you.
Ocho Cinco.
Well, I can hardly wait.
Folks, it's the top of the hour.
is the
This
top of
just
the hour.
couldn't get here quick enough.
I don't know. I thought it got here pretty quickly.
Pretty fun.
Show flowed pretty well today.
Hey, love you guys. Have a great day. Tune in tomorrow and see how Ash's hair looks. We'll talk to you mañana.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Well, I'm kicked out of my near every bar